The podcast you're about to listen to will be discussing and spoiling movies throughout the duration of the show. It is also riddled with bad language, so if that's not your thing, well, we tried to warn you.
My name is Robert Hawkins. It's 6:42 a.m. on Saturday, May 23rd. Approximately 7 hours ago, something attacked the city. I don't know what it is. If you found this tape, if you're watching this right now, then you probably know more about it than I do. Whatever it is, it killed my brother, Jason Hawkins, it killed my best friend, Hudson Platt, and Marlena Diamond, and many, many others. We've crashed here in Central Park and taken shelter under this bridge. The military has begun bombing the creature, and we're caught in the middle.
Hello everyone, and welcome to Monster Madness, a podcast dedicated to all sorts of creature features. My name is Erika Gwynn, and I am here to introduce you to this absolute shit show. Joined with me as always are two men who would for sure leave me to die in a pitch black subway tunnel if we were under attack by giant and mini aliens. We have Daniel Gwynn.
Hey, how's it going? And I don't know if I'd leave you.
You'd probably leave me because I'd be so dead.
Maybe. I know I'd run faster than you.
For sure. And Matt Stein.
I would pick you up and throw you at whatever's coming at me.
And then I would just have to run faster than Matt.
Yeah, which isn't hard to do. I'm not a speed.
I'd have Evelyn under my arm.
Well, in this scenario, Evelyn's not there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So before we get into the episode, some plugs as per usual. You can find Monster Madness on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, as well as all other obscure social media platforms. There are a few ways you can support our show for the cost of nothing except a few minutes of your time. You could head on over to Apple Podcasts and give the show a rating and review. That helps other people find the show, and it is very greatly appreciated by us. Just don't be a troll and leave fucking 1-star reviews, because that's just dumb.
You fucking ravioli cocksucker.
Ravioli boy. So, tonight, now that all the plugs are done, all the bullshit is out of the way, on this episode of Monster Madness, we will be discussing the 2008 film Cloverfield.
You have no idea what's out there.
I don't care what's out there. Listen to me. She's dying.
There is nothing I can do about
that
that
I love
now.
more than anything is dying, and it's my fault. She should have been with me tonight, and I let her go, and I get it, okay? You have your hands full. I get that, but we're gonna go after her, and if you want to stop me, then you can have a shoot.
I don't feel so good.
Bart! Wait, Bart!
Hold on a second. Wait a second.
Dun, dun, dun.
Bow, bow, bow.
Boom.
I didn't realize this movie's 12 years old already.
Yeah, I didn't realize either that it's actually that old. So Cloverfield came out in 2008. It is actually PG-13, which I was surprised to learn. I thought it was actually R, but whatever. Starring Lizzie Kaplan, Jessica Lucas, TJ Miller, Michael Stahl-David, Mike Vogel, Odette Annabelle. Those are the main characters that you see throughout the entire film for the most part. The newer these movies get, actually less taglines we have, which is really nice because some of these movies had like fucking 12 taglines, and I'm not about that life. So the only tagline for this film is "Something has found us."
When they give you the tagline, when do you see that for this movie?
Typically in like a trailer and or on a movie poster.
Yeah, that one's on the movie poster.
I don't remember ever hearing that line for this.
Yep.
No.
But, okay.
Something has found us. Not horrible, but not the best. I feel like they could have probably done a little bit better, but whatever. Matt, what is the budget?
$25 million.
Whoa,
Damn.
that's a lot.
Well, you figure there's a lot of like practical effects and shit blowing up and then CGI towards the end.
Yeah, I guess CGI that'll do it.
2008 CGI. Probably more expensive.
Yeah, they did a good job with it.
Yeah, but like a
Isn't bad.
majority of the movie is like super dark. Well, yeah, whatever. I'm not gonna
Hey,
judge.
the first 3 seconds confused me.
Oh my god. So before we even start the fucking synopsis, he goes to watch the movie today. I've seen this movie a million times. I
So have I. I just forgot.
I just really enjoy it. And he turns it on, and you know how it like comes up with like that multicolor like bar, and it kind of looks like an arrow. He's like, "What the fuck's wrong with the TV?" I'm like,
It got me for like a good 30 seconds.
I forgot about the stuff at the beginning too. Like this was found in formerly known as Central Park.
"Oh yeah, that whole." Did you also know that there are 2 sequels to this film.
Yeah, you asking me?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, dude.
All right.
Yeah, I like the latest one? Probably one of my favorites.
Really? I thought it was horrendous.
Oh no, we never saw Paradox. I never have.
Oh no.
10
What's the one?
10
10
Cloverfield,
Cloverfield Lane. Did you know that was not a Cloverfield movie?
Huh?
So it was a movie that they made
Yeah.
with literally what 98% of the movie is what it was, and then J.J. Abrams bought it, reshot the end, and made it a Cloverfield movie.
Oh.
Because
Wow.
keep in mind, you hear only sounds up until the end of that movie when they get out.
Mm-hmm.
True. Spoiler alert for 10 Cloverfield Lane whenever we cover that.
But I think that's probably, and personally, I feel like that's why that movie is so fucking good, because it was not supposed to be a Cloverfield movie. And I'm not hating on Cloverfield. I think it was a really good bunker movie. That they
Oh,
were,
yeah, for sure.
Definitely.
yeah, that they were
I thought
like,
that movie was nuts. It was good. I loved that.
yeah, I thought John Goodman was amazing in it. I actually there was a trailer where it plays some song. I can't remember the name of the song, but it like shit blows up and it just starts to slow down. I thought it was really creepy. So I was trying to use it as like a live show thing.
There you go.
Oh.
You know, I really honestly think that John Goodman is an extremely underrated actor.
Fuck yeah.
Because like people are like, oh, that guy from Roseanne. I'm like, have you ever seen Red State? Have you ever seen 10 Cloverfield Lane?
I forgot about Red State. That's such a good fucking movie.
Oh yeah, no, he just said the dude off mic, so I nobody else heard it but me.
Oh.
The dude abides.
I haven't seen that movie in a really long time either.
All right, so
Don't forget Good Night, Sweet Prince.
Good Night, Sweet Prince.
And
What
they
are you
dump
talking
out
about?
Donnie's ashes and they just blow into the dude's face.
Oh yeah.
Sorry. I'll stop interrupting you.
No, that's all good. That's all good. So Cloverfield is one of the very few found footage films that are actually, I deem, to be good. You have, Blair Witch that kind of started that whole trend, and then it got really old. And then you have something like this movie, and then again with like Paranormal Activity, where I think that they're done in a unique way where they're actually very good. But, we'll get to some other people's opinions later about that. So the film begins on April 27, 2008 at 6:42 a.m. as a videotape by Rob Hawkins with his camcorder at his friend Beth McIntyre's dad's apartment, where they had spent the night together while her dad was out of town. He wakes Beth up and asks her if she has ever been to Coney Island. When Beth says that she hasn't, the two make plans to go there that day. The video then unexpectedly cuts to an evening of May 22nd, 2008, when the video taped on May 22nd was recorded. The tape wasn't changed and the new video was taped over Rob and Beth's Coney Island trip, which is a real bummer because it seemed like it was a real lovely day.
Yeah.
Yeah, that just clicked with me.
What are you talking about?
The fact that I was like, well, the beginning doesn't really make sense. And then I forgot later in it, he's like, did you change the tape?
He probably didn't see the ending then. He probably doesn't know.
What?
We'll tell you later.
Did you? Well, I'm assuming he watched until the credits.
Yeah, not through the credits,
Yeah.
but till the credits.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, you can.
He'll figure it out.
Okay.
We'll tell him.
We'll tell him when we get there.
Mm-hmm.
Is there an
Yeah.
after credit scene?
No.
No,
I was like, you gotta
well,
tell me
right
that
before.
shit.
Hold on.
Right before
Hold
credits.
on. Don't fucking cut him off. It's not an after credit scene, but there is something towards the end of the film. There's multiple little Easter eggs all over this shit,
Oh.
but some I can talk about, some I can't.
Oh,
For
yeah. Yeah, quiz purposes.
yeah, quizzes stuff.
Oh.
Sounds like Dan's gonna win this week.
Ha ha.
Oh, sorry. The movie The Sacrament was the one I was thinking of.
What are you talking about?
For John Goodman.
Oh,
Is John Goodman in it?
I don't know. I thought that was where you're going.
can John
No.
Goodman be the new safe word?
John Goodman. No, so sorry. Sacrament is like a found footage fuck, what was his name? Cult in a tropical place. It's gonna drive me nuts.
This is what happens when you drink tea during the recording versus beer.
I hit her pretty hard all weekend, so fuck.
While you're looking that up, I was going through files today because I was editing an episode, and I just had one that said Matt says fuck, and I was like, what is this? And I hit play, and it's just like fuck. Because I was like, I need to have that somewhere.
Jonestown. It was the People's Temple in Jonestown. Jim Jones.
Oh.
Yeah, so Sacrament is very Jonestown-esque. It's really fucking good.
Remind me of that later.
Okay.
Okay. I'm actually pulling a U this week, Matt, and I'm reading from Wikipedia because there's so many like tiny details. I was like, I'm gonna forget shit.
It's just a lot easier in my opinion.
It is.
I thought you took really thorough notes. I'm like, wow.
Actually.
look at her.
I took very thorough notes. So Rob has a farewell party thrown for him by his brother Jason and Jason's girlfriend Lily Ford in celebration of Rob's new job in Japan. So in the beginning of the film, like we said, it starts off with Rob walking through Beth's dad's apartment. He's looking out at Central Park in New York, and it's like a foggy morning, and he's just like in the best mood of his life because, he finally got with the girl that he's in love with and blah, 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 blah. And then it cuts and you see Rob's brother Jason fiddling around with his camera, and they're walking to a store to pick up food for his going away party because he's going to Japan for X amount of time. He's going for a very long time for his job because he's a big important person.
He's a VP.
He's a VP of something. They never specify, which is totally fine because guess what? Nobody cares.
VP of keeping it real.
VP of keeping it real. Their friend Hudson, Hud, quote unquote is his nickname, Platt, films testimonials for Rob during the party. Later that night, Beth brings a date to the party, which is...
No.
He was just like, fuck that bitch. How would you feel if a girl that you had relations with one time, you didn't talk to her for like a solid month, and then she comes to your party because you guys are still friends, and she brings a date? Do you care?
I think it was different though because he took a videotape during the whole. It wasn't just
It wasn't
like
a
one
sex
day.
tape.
Yeah, but like it was like multiple days. It looked like
was one day.
It was one day.
It was one day.
Well, I'm pretty sure that would be creepy if I took a camera on our first date and was just like, I'm going to record this whole entire thing.
We have cameras on our phones, and
Yeah,
we're just
but
like,
not
hey,
video.
Snapchat time. Gonna document everything because my day's
But it's
awesome.
like hours and hours.
Because this was 2008, man.
That's what you do.
I don't remember.
Maybe she was into it.
2008, I was a junior in high school, and I had a Razor flip phone, so there was no video being happening right there.
I had one.
It was a solid phone.
It was the best phone.
Fuck yeah, it is.
T9 for life. Though I would have zero idea how to use it right now.
T9. I never used it. I was just that fast.
Actually, no, I might have had a BlackBerry by then.
I hated my BlackBerry.
I love that little white ball.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
I was zipping all around playing Snake on that shit. Anyway, so when Beth arrives at the party, Rob sees it. He gets all man hurt, and he's just like, that sucks. And he's all sulky. So eventually he confronts her. So Rob and Beth step outside and have an argument, which Hud attempts to eavesdrop on. Now, Hud is played by TJ Miller, and he's the comic relief of the whole film. He's going around busting everybody's balls with the camera. He doesn't really want to do it, but he winds up actually really loving it, like kind of just getting in everybody's business because they can't really say no to him because it's for Rob's going away party. He eventually sees this chick Marlena that he's really into, and he just keeps like harassing her basically with a camera, and then eventually, she brushes him off and like escapes from his creepiness. Jason and Hud ask Lily if she knows what's going on between the two, and she admits that Beth and Rob slept together a month earlier, but that Rob never called Beth afterwards, which is a really fucking dick move.
You would think he would have called if he fucking just videotaped her for 8 hours.
Yeah, and if he really liked her that much. So he's all butthurt, but he never called her, so...
That's his fault.
Yeah, that's his fault. Men and your egos, so fragile. Rob later admits to Jason and Hud that he didn't speak with Beth after their night together because of his new job and not wanting to start a relationship with her just as he was about to leave for Japan. Totally get that. Just say it. Here's the thing. This is a little relationship tip advice corner of Monster Madness. If you say how you truly feel, and if you're transparent, typically a responsible and mature human being does not get mad. Am I wrong?
Huh.
What?
Huh.
You're welcome, guys. I really hope this helps you with all current and/or future relationships.
Thanks.
Going forward.
I don't have future relationships.
It could be friendships, too. Friendships.
Yeah, you never know when marriage too might rear its head.
Marry first for love, second for money.
Mm-hmm.
A supposed earthquake strikes shortly after, causing a brief citywide power outage. Now, Jason, Hud, and Rob are sitting on the fire escape, which is so New York of them. Not really. I don't think any person in New York really does that, but get at me if you do. They're like chit-chatting and talking, and then all of a sudden, there's this like huge explosion.
Boom.
You don't know what it is. It sounds like a meteor hit the fucking city, or, a a tanker blew up. It's just big, whatever it is. They say all over the news that it's an earthquake, but I don't know if you've ever experienced an earthquake, Matt, in Wisconsin.
Negative.
I don't know.
Oh, that doesn't count. The little tremor we had that one year.
No, I'm not talking about that. It was way before me and you met. There was a legit earthquake, and it like a really big shock and aftershock was felt in Philly, and it was scary because I'm just like standing in my room, and all of a sudden the light fixture in my room literally just went sideways as I'm standing straight. Like my center of gravity did not change, but literally it felt like my house went sideways and then back and forth, like it was just like this rickety little shack. It was so scary. And my dad, being who he is as a human being, was like asleep on the couch, and he like jumped up and he was just like, "Yo, did you feel that?" Like just freaking out. He's like, "That was fucking awesome." I'm like, "Oh yeah, I'm real awesome." I'm like standing in my doorway. I'm like, "Fuck, that was an earthquake."
I think I love your dad.
Oh, I think I love him too. He is a one of a kind individual, and if you're listening, Dad, I hope you know that. So the party goers make their way onto the roof in an attempt to view the accident as any of us probably would have done, because we're all looky-loos deep down inside. Just then, a sudden explosion sends debris crashing around them, and the party-goers rush back inside for cover. When the party-goers are beginning to leave the building, the severed head of the Statue of Liberty is hurled into the street in front of them. HUD records an enormous creature several blocks away collapsing the Woolworth building. Oh, I can't do it. Later during the city's evacuation, the creature's tail destroys the Brooklyn Bridge, killing Jason and several other people. So after the head is thrown, which is very like a cinematic thing that literally, it's like a 1 in a billion shot that would actually probably ever happen. Everybody's freaking out. They're like, what was that creature? HUD had recorded it, so they look back at the video, and as they do that, the video that they were taping over pops up again, and it's just, you see Beth on a subway going towards Coney Island. They're laughing and giggling and thinking of happier times. The whole city's in this haze of fog because of all the debris and the collapsed buildings and fire and yada yada yada. Marlene is like in shock because she just like whispers, "It was eating people. It was eating people." And even HUD was like, "Yeah, whatever it was alive." So now everybody's freaking out, and they're trying to kind of like figure out what they're going to do, and all they want to do is get out of Manhattan. So they go on the Brooklyn Bridge. It's crazy, obviously, as it would be. People would be in complete pandemonium, just running to get off and get away from whatever this creature was. And Rob gets a phone call from Beth, and she's freaking out because she had stormed out of the party after they had their argument, and she's telling him that she's hurt. Something happened in her building, and Rob can't really hear her, but Lily, Marlena, and HUD start talking to him, but Jason gets pushed forward on the crowd. He eventually goes up on a lamppost to be like, "Hey, why did you stop?" And all of a sudden you see this huge fucking tentacle come down and smack on top of him and squish him like the little bug that he is in comparison. It's very sad. Splat.
Ouch.
Yeah. So that causes another panic, and people are running in a billion different directions. So the news begins showing reports of the Army National Guard attacking the monster. They're, shooting it. They're chucking grenades at it. They're just going full on war zone for this giant monster. But what they begin to notice while they're filming it and while they're attacking it is that something is falling off the monster, and it turns out it is these tiny little evil fucking creatures. They, per Wikipedia, are called smaller parasite creatures resembling 6-foot crabs, fall off its body and attack nearby pedestrians and soldiers.
Nope.
I will never look at crabs the same way again because I would never have used that word to describe
It looked
them.
like a spider.
It looked like if a spider...
Sex with a cricket.
Mm.
All right, but what's the mouth though? The mouth is just nothing I've ever seen.
I don't know.
It's just solid bone of sharpness and evil.
Alligator teeth? I don't know.
Ooh, okay, so if a baby alligator, a crab, a cricket, and a spider
Did the naughty.
somehow mixed all of that, I think this is what you'd get. And then like a weird attack noise.
Let's hear it.
There it is. That's your version.
Me?
Yeah.
Weird.
So unique.
Your turn.
Okay, so I already did it.
Come on.
Why? I did
Let's
it.
hear it.
So Rob's phone dies. He's in shock. Lily's in shock. I mean, Marlena is, they're all in shock to a degree, but Lily and Rob especially because Jason just died. Jason and Lily were together. That was Rob's brother. And clearly, I don't think anybody could survive however much that freaking tentacle weighed collapsing on top of them, especially going into water and, completely destroying a bridge. Pretty sure you're dead. So Rob and them eventually find their way back to like a corner of the street, and an electronics store is being raided. Now, this is where I think it taps into reality, because the moment shit goes awry in any sense of the word, just like when we watch The Mist, people go fucking apeshit and they riot, they loot, they go crazy. Because, like, do you really need electronics when the world's fucking ending? Doubt it.
Yeah.
But people think that they should try.
I'll never ever get that big screen TV.
Just see Matt fucking brawling for a 60-inch.
I'll choke a bitch for a 60-inch.
I think I just found the clip for this episode. So Rob goes into the electronics store not to really loot, but he needs a phone battery because his phone had died. So Rob begins to listen to the phone message from Beth more clearly because she left him a voicemail, I guess, after she couldn't really hear him while he was on the bridge. She is stating that she is trapped in her apartment at the Time Warner Center and unable to move. Going against the crowd, Rob, Hud, Lily, and another party goer, Marlena and Diamond. Oh, I didn't know her last name was Diamond. Venture into Midtown Manhattan to rescue Beth. Now, I want to know how noble you guys are.
I've been gone already. Like, you have fun with that. I'm out of here.
Your friend calls you. They're like, I'm trapped. There's a huge alien monster creature thing.
Mm-hmm.
Tiny little monster, 6 foot though. They're not that small.
We only went on one date. I don't know.
Well, beyond that, we were
dicey.
We were longtime friends. Happened to have one night of complete bliss, and then, we get into a fight a few hours
I don't
earlier.
know. I mean, like, if it's like painted like in the movie, like it's the love of his life, maybe. If it's not, no.
I never answered the phone in the first place.
Oh, look, I got a voicemail. Delete.
Yeah, right.
Block. Okay, so
Wait, would you be mad at the party then? When she brings another dude?
Fuck,
'Cause I'm pretty sure I would be mad.
It depends on how much I like the girl.
I would have been like, why the fuck is she here?
Get
This
out,
is my
bitch.
party. Get out of
well, I
here.
mean, they were still friends.
Yeah. I don't know.
That's the proverbial term, fuck buddy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they do exist.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I have 2. 1, 2.
I knew you were going to do it. I knew it.
uh,
Oh, my God.
Those were hands.
yeah. Yeah.
I think people know.
Yeah.
No, he's just pointing to 2 ladies that just stand behind him at all
Yeah,
times.
it's,
So by 3:17 a.m., they get caught in a battle between the creature and the Army National Guard and run into the subway.
I got time out for that.
Okay.
How the hell did they get there so quickly?
Well, they are in the area where the creature is anyway, but it's
Why?
like circling that. Well, because they were trying to get away from it. Bridge
Yeah,
collapsed. They went backwards, and then it's kind of like circled around, and then they just happened to be in a war zone.
Mhm.
Like,
But there's not soldiers just like hanging out in New York City. Like it would have took at least a day for them to get there.
I
What
bet.
do you think?
I bet if shit got real hairy, they're not that far away. I guarantee there's a base in New York.
hold on, I'm trying to look at timestamps. They on the Wikipedia page, they don't say how much time kind of
I don't
goes
know.
between.
And I thought there'd be more people on the streets because New York City has lots of people.
Yeah, but you also have to think the Rob, Lily, Hud, and Marlena are going in the direction that is being evacuated. So they're going against the grain. So all the people they're distancing themselves from all the people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there will be less and less people.
But there's probably like New Yorkers are like, I'm not fucking leaving.
Well, here's the thing. I'm so glad you actually brought that up because while at some point when they're trying to evacuate, the only person in this fucking film that sounds like they're from New York is the cop. He's like, you gotta get out of here. But every little main character literally has the most neutral voice. I'm like, why couldn't you even just
That's what I meant. It was
try
like,
a little bit?
there's going to be somebody that's like, I'm not leaving.
Yeah, it's
Get
probably
me
like
outta
a
here.
75-year-old Italian man
Yeah, smoking his cigarettes.
who lives
and
on Staten Island. He's just
Saying-
like, I ain't fucking leaving.
I'm waiting for a pastrami sandwich.
Yeah. So by 3:17 a.m., they get caught in the battle between the creature and the Army National Guard and run into the subway, which I actually thought was a pretty smart idea. That would probably be my first idea. Be like, I need to go fucking down, not up, because
would
it's
think
destroying everything.
Aren't the trains like automatic though? At least now they
Well,
are.
no. Here's the thing, because a lot of people were pissed off during this movie because they're just like, how are you getting such good cell reception? Because eventually Rob uses his phone in the
That's
subway.
True. I never
Yeah.
thought of that one.
In New York and in major like metropolitan cities and probably in Philadelphia, but obviously I haven't used the
We
L.
don't go down there.
I mean, no, I mean I do, but I haven't used it in a long time, and I've obviously never used it in an emergency. In most underground subways and electric lines, they have apparently these
Cell blockers.
the opposite of
Opposite,
that.
yeah. There's
Cell
probably
boosters.
probably
it's
antennas
literally
down there.
like cell boosters. So if there is an emergency and people decide to go down,
You can use your phone.
you can use your phone.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
okay.
all the cell service and stuff was really shitty on top
Uh-huh.
for whatever reason. So when they went down, it actually improved their chances of being able to talk on the phone because they go down into the subway. They're kind of trying to gather themselves. And eventually Rob's mom calls him and he has to tell her like, yeah, I'm fine.
I'd still be shit scared to walk through one of those tunnels.
We're getting there. He tells his mom that his brother is dead and he starts crying and they're kind of just trying to gather themselves. Eventually, Rob is very adamant. He's like, I have to get to Beth. And he has 3 other people with him and he's not regarding their feelings whatsoever. He's like, look, I'm going to go. You can go and evacuate with the army, whatever. You can go with the National Guard. You can leave me. I can fucking go by myself, which so brave. But they are like, oh no, we're all in this together. I think the death of Jason kind of bonded them a little bit, especially Lily. She's like, this is the only like family she has like right there, so she's going to go with him. So they decide to walk in the dark subway tunnels. No.
Nope.
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
The darkness alone
That would freak me out.
and just the length you have to walk. Oh my God. I mean,
I'd be
yeah,
running.
it's the safest bet, but it's still no.
No flashlight.
Well, they have the light from the camera, from this tiny little fucking handheld camera, but it, it illuminates as best as it can. So as they're walking into the subway, Hud and Marlena are doing like a little back and forth, like cutesy thing. He's trying to, flirt with her.
Trying to win her over.
Yeah.
I think he's in when he interviews or what's the little going away saying?
Yeah.
They've already met. She just didn't realize it. So he's probably flirted with her in the past.
Yeah. And she literally just does not care because she doesn't care. But now is not the time, Hud. So as they're walking, they're talking back and forth, and all of a sudden, rats start fleeing from behind them. And they are like, well, that's weird. Why are all these rats running away from something? So they just kind of start walking a little bit faster. And they're like, you know what? Let's get out at the next station. It seems like we have walked under here enough.
What would you do if you saw one mouse?
Mice and rats don't scare me.
You're telling me if you saw all those mice.
You know what
rats.
scares me? Giant fucking aliens and giant crab monsters.
Oh, you mean what's about to happen?
Yep. So they hear something behind them, and Rob's like, well, turn on the night vision, see what you can see, which I would have had that shit on from the fucking get-go so I could see everything down in the tunnel.
He doesn't know that it even has it.
Yeah, well, you should have. He turns it on, and all of a sudden you see from the fucking ceiling, creeping extremely slowly and with a bunch of eyes, these giant crab tiny creatures, and they start attacking. Now, their jaws, like I said before, are just like solid bone. And it's just like snapping and snapping and snapping at them. And they're attacking them. And yet somehow they magically don't get bitten except Marlena.
I thought they all got bit. Like it looked like they did.
They got like
scratched or something?
Lily got scratched up like on her arms.
Okay.
Rob didn't seem to get bitten by anything. Hud didn't seem to get really bitten by anything. He had like a cut on his head that could have been from falling. But Marlena gets bit like right on the shoulder. It like chomps down super hard and fucks her day up real bad. But they get it off of her, and they find like a I wouldn't say emergency exit.
Maintenance tunnel.
Like a maintenance section from the subway, and they regroup there after they, get away from these like fucking creepy ass monsters. Now, before we go on, what did you guys think of the tiny little guys? Do you think they look stupid, or did you think that they were like legit kind of like, if you saw that in real life, you'd be terrified?
I'd be terrified. I'd be out of there. I'd run as fast as I could.
Yeah, I mean, I'd probably be scared because you can't explain what it is. So how is that not terrifying?
That's like seeing that, what's that biggest spider in the world? That's like a parrot-eating spider.
Camel spider?
Yeah. If I saw one of those, I'd still freak out.
Yep.
Yeah,
So,
I'd set the whole world on
now
fire.
I got one for you.
Okay.
Once you're in that maintenance room,
Yeah.
and you're like, okay, look at that. I got a shower. I got water. I got a sink. I got coffee. I got vending machines. Would you go any further?
Damn, I would have never left my apartment. Where am I going to go?
I don't know.
Okay, so this thing, the giant monster is huge.
Mhm.
I have
It's
no
the size
chance.
of the building.
I have no fucking chance. Why am I even going to try? What am I going to run away from it? It can literally catch up with me in 1 second. It's just, I use my logic here. Why am I going to exhaust myself running all over the city when I can just simply stay in the comfort of my own home and die?
Mm-hmm.
And probably less pain.
Mm-hmm.
So Marlena is bitten. They're regrouping in the maintenance closet. And somehow, as they're walking like through that section, they wind up in like this like epicenter of the Army National Guard's.
It looked like a store.
It looked like a store, but it's like a pop-up, hospital, because all these soldiers are wounded, all these people are being attacked and all this other stuff. And this army guy is just like, come on, come with me. Marlena is bleeding like crazy. She's super pale and she keeps saying that she's dizzy. And they're trying to find out, especially Rob, like, number one, where exactly they are. Number two, what the hell is that thing? And number three, how they can get to the Time Warner building so Rob can get to Beth, because he's like, no matter what, I'm going to her. You're going to have to shoot me to stop me. I'm like, that'd be the fucking easy way out. I'd be like, just shoot me in the face. But eventually they notice Marlena is now bleeding from her eyes and like mouth.
She's like, oh, what's wrong?
Yeah, she's like, Hud, what's happening? Because like she's completely like glazed over. And all of a sudden like a nurse is just like, we got a biter! Like, we got, like, one of them. And they, like, drag her away. They take her, and there's a lot of screaming, and they take her behind, like, this, in this, like, medical tent. All you see from inside is literally her, like, expand, blow up, and then explode. Like, not her whole body, but it seems like the front of her just, like, inflated and bloated to the point where her skin just burst open, and she died. So, it seems like when you get bit by these creatures...
Getting infected real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, something in their saliva or whatever gets into you, and there's literally no saving you. So, after all that, Rob, Lily, and Hud are all crying, and they're emotional, and they're super distraught because, they just saw their friend get blown up.
Do you think you'd be crying? I think I'd just be, like, in shock.
Yeah, I mean, I think
I'd be, like, in mode of, like, I'm getting the hell out of here.
Yeah, I think I'd probably be in shock, and I'd be like, I just need to get the fuck out of here. But then again, in most of these scenarios, I wouldn't be that far anyway, because I'd either be dead or I would have been far, far away.
Mm-hmm. I would have tried to get at least, like, a weapon or something at that little center.
Yeah, I'd be like, hey, Army man, can you give me a gun?
Yeah, a knife, something.
Yeah, I'll take a stick.
I'm leaving there with something.
Yeah. So they talk to the army guy again because he's trying to calm them down, which I think he was probably a little too nice for an army man. I'm like, you have way bigger fish to fry than these fucking 3 civilians who clearly don't want to hear whatever you have to say.
I thought it was odd that they were the only civilians in there.
I mean, the other civilians were severely injured people.
Oh, okay.
So, they're the only ones that are in generally good health. So the army guy tells Rob that there's going to be one last evacuation helicopter, and it will depart before the military executes the Hammer Down Protocol, which will destroy Manhattan in an attempt to kill the monster. So the Army and National Guard have put in place this protocol because they're realizing that they can't win against this thing. So they're literally going to flatten Manhattan in the hopes that it'll kill it. Which is pretty scary to think that most likely the military has this plan set in place for most things, so we could just easily be flattened in 2 seconds flat. The world is a dark, dark place. So the group eventually gets to Beth's apartment in the Time Warner building. It's like halfway collapsed onto another building. So they go up the building that's right next to it. They go up to the 40th floor and they hop onto the roof of Beth's building and make their way down to her. Now, I know you have some gripes about that scene.
What, the heights?
No, not the heights, but the solidness of the building when they're walking on it. You're just like, fuck that shit would be shaking.
I don't know if it'd be no, that I said it would be shaking when the planes, the fighter jets flew right over the building, and when planes get too close to buildings like that, they vibrate all the glass. I would assume that.
I was like half listening to you when you were watching it, so I was just kind of.
I don't know. Certain things like that kind of annoy me. It's like there'd be more dust and there'd be more noise.
Well, they're super high up, so the dust probably wouldn't be that high up.
From the building that just exploded, like half exploded and tilted over? No?
Well, I mean, it didn't fully collapse. It's not like it imploded, so there's really no smoke yet. If it fully fell down, totally.
Yeah.
Come on, man. Use your brain. So when they find Beth eventually in her sideways apartment, she is impaled on the side of her chest by an exposed rebar, which they somehow remove.
They just pick her up.
Yeah.
So internally bleeding now.
Yeah, please just kill me. I give you both permission.
It's like through her lung.
Yeah, no.
It's like right next to her heart.
I mean, no, it's like in her shoulder, but still.
I
I give you both full permission. If you, well, one, I wouldn't have called you guys. If I was speared, I'd be like, guys, it was really nice knowing you. Keep Monster Madness going, but I have a rebarb in my fucking chest. I'm going to die. Don't come up this sideways ass building. I'm not selfish like that.
Now, after I saved you
Yeah.
and brought you home, and we lived happily ever after.
Yeah.
Would we live happily ever after, or do you think she would have been like, thanks for saving me, but still, we're not dating?
I probably would have been dead from that fucking rebarb.
Because that would have been even funnier. Is like if you found out that like he did all that and he still didn't get the girl.
I mean, you're never gonna know. You're never gonna know. So they rip her off this fucking rebarb, and the four of them make their way to the evacuation site at Grand Central Terminal, where they encounter the creature once more. Lily is rushed into a departing Marine Corps helicopter and escapes. Moments later, Rob, Beth, and Hud are taken away in a second helicopter and witness the creature being bombed. At first, the bombing seemingly kills the creature, but it lunges out of the smoke at the group's helicopter, causing it to crash into Central Park. Less than an hour later, no. Okay, so it's not really telling you anything else that happens towards the end of the movie that I actually want to talk about. It just tells you about the end of the credits. So...
They wake up out of, like, their coma thing, right?
What coma?
Sometimes
I think that you watch a completely different movie than
not
most of us.
Yeah. They got knocked down in the helicopter.
Yeah, they got knocked
Remember, it was nighttime when
Why
they
you
got knocked
shouting?
down. And then he woke up during daytime, so he was at least knocked out for a while.
No, Daniel, this is like 6 a.m. They have literally been on the run for fucking 7 hours. Hold on.
All
Let
right.
me finish this shit.
Keep on going.
So the helicopter crashes and somehow the three characters that we have left survive. Rob's leg is super messed up. Beth is just straight up running on adrenaline because she has a huge gaping hole in her goddamn chest and she's just still going. Hud is relatively uninjured.
He's like, where's the camera?
Yeah, he's really focused on documenting everything because he's just like, people are going to want to see this and see what happened. I'm like, I mean, it's true in the day and age that we live in, but so eventually, they like tourniquet Rob's leg and Hud had the camera on the ground. He goes back to grab it and all of a sudden the monster is like right in front of him and he literally just pans up and you see its chest and that it like has these, not gills, but like, I don't know what you would call them, but when he
Gills?
I'm going to hit you.
It's where you would shoot the bad guy. Because it like lights
That's
up red.
definitely in the boss.
Yeah, that's what I
shooting
thought
up
of.
there.
No, I just don't know what they're called, but it's like when he breathes, they were like inflating.
Consider its lungs are just in its throat instead of in its chest.
There you go.
Yeah.
I like what he said.
Kind of like gills.
And the monster grabs Hud, rips him in half, and Hud is now dead.
Did he get
He gets ripped in half.
His mouth or his arm?
No,
how'd that happen?
from the waist down. They rips off his legs. If you look closely at and like kind of like pause it at a certain point, you can see Hud's legs like just flying in the air, and then him just landing.
I didn't notice that.
Yeah. So, a fun little fact that has nothing to do with Questions of the Damned or anything like that.
Oh.
They all, because this was like still in the MySpace era.
Mm-hmm.
All that for promotion for the film, they made MySpace accounts for all of the characters in the film. And before the film's release, Hud was listed as 6'2", and after its release, they put him down as 2'6".
That's funny.
Finger guns.
They're coming back.
Yeah, for sure. So Rob then grabs the camera after, he's grieving over Hud and saying like, Hud, are you okay? Clearly the fuck not.
Yeah, he doesn't feel very good.
Your boy is ripped in half. They make their way under like this tunnel bridge in Central Park, and the hammer down protocol is like commenced. Rob and Beth do like final testimonials, kind of explaining everything that has happened in the last hour and 25 minutes that you've been watching this film. And then all of a sudden there's a big explosion, one explosion, and the camera falls to the ground. You just see rocks, and you hear Rob going like, Beth, I love you. And she's like, I love you too. Another explosion. Credits. Well, no, not credits.
So you think they're dead?
Pretty sure they're dead.
Oh.
Because they literally flattened Manhattan. So this is what we were talking about at the beginning of the episode. So the movie ends with the film running out, and it's Rob and Beth's Coney Island date. It's the end of the day. They had spent all day on Coney Island. I think they're in
like a Ferris wheel.
A Ferris wheel. If you pay close attention, and this isn't a spoiler, this isn't anything. If you look, because he pans across the horizon, you see the water meeting the sky. If you look very closely in the right corner, there's like a yacht, a ferry ship, ferry boat, whatever. If you look super closely, you can see something falling into the sky, into the water. And that is actually
presumably the monster.
Yeah, no, they confirm that the monster fell from space into the water, laid there for a month, hatched, and then wreaked havoc. The monster itself is considered a baby, and it's looking for its mother, and it destroyed the city. And that is the end of the film.
So there's a bigger one?
It can grow bigger.
Damn.
Do you know what I learned while you guys were talking?
Nothing.
You'll actually probably want to hear this.
Okay.
You remember that movie Overlord that came out like 2 years ago, year and a half ago?
Vaguely.
World War II supernatural movie?
Yeah, I never saw it, but yeah.
Apparently it's Cloverfield 4. It's a prequel to Cloverfield.
Really?
Yeah, that's what the internet says.
We should watch it.
Is there monsters in it?
I think it's supernatural Nazis, so I don't think so. I have it, and I've never watched it.
That's strange. They did not promote that as like part of the.
No, and that's the thing, like, but it's a J.J. Abrams movie.
He's one odd dude.
Yeah, yeah. Like every third or fourth website, it was like, oh, it's not actually a Cloverfield movie, but then every other one it says it was.
I'm gonna have to look into this later. So, now that we have finished the synopsis of the movie, it's time for Questions of the Damned. Matt's kicking ass this season. Dan is fucking choking. He's not happy about it. But we're going to give him the first question in the hopes that maybe he can redeem himself.
Maybe. We'll see.
Maybe. Each point that Dan gets will be worth
1,000 points.
15 million points. Matt's are going to be worth -3. All right, Daniel, are you ready?
No.
Okay.
Hit me.
What type of film did Lizzie Kaplan think she was auditioning for when she first read the very limited script for Cloverfield? Lizzie Kaplan played Marlena, so she believed it was a horror film, a romance, or a comedy. Are you alive?
Thinking. Trying to get the answer right. So I got a horror film, a romance, and a comedy?
Yes.
I'm going to go with the comedy.
I'm going to go with romance.
They gave her very limited. They gave them like 1 page of the script, and they refused to let the actors even read the script until they were fully hired. They basically had to go into it sight unseen.
Interesting.
Which is very risky. All right, Matt. How many days did this film take to shoot? 63, 91, 34.
34.
Oh my god. He is so dead inside. All right, Daniel.
Mm-hmm.
What was a potential title for the film?
Dan sucks.
Gray Shot, Handheld, Central Park.
What was it?
Gray Shot, Handheld, Central Park. A potential alternate title for the film. Please get it right.
Gray Shot?
Thank God. I don't know what that was supposed to mean, but you got it.
I
Right.
just went because they went with Cloverfield, and that's kind of out there. So I was like, it's gotta be, can't be too obvious.
I'll tell you what Cloverfield means at the end of this.
Okay.
Oh.
All right, Matthew.
Mhm.
How many people were put on record as leaving the theater due to severe motion sickness when watching this movie? 0, none. 68, 104.
104.
I think that's going to win the game. All right, Daniel, this is worth 85,000 points. What was the monster's nickname on set? Darwin, Clover, Big Green.
I mean, at this point, did they know what the fucking movie was called?
Okay, it was on set, so yeah.
It better be called fucking Clover.
And we'll do the bonus question just for shits and giggles, because I'm pretty sure Matt has won the whole season already. So, what was the last line in the film? And Matt, you can just text me 1, 2, or 3.
Oh, okay.
It was a good day.
What?
This is the bonus question,
Why would he text you 1, 2, or 3?
because you both are going to give me the answer. Just trust me. Just relax. I know it's a lot of brain power for you right now, and you're emotional.
I'm not. I'm fine.
All right,
I'm cool.
cool,
Cool.
right, sure. What was the last line of the film? It was a good day. Oh my God, there's more. It's still alive. So I'll wait till he sends the text message. Before...
Say again.
It was a good day. Oh my God, there's more. It's still alive. What's your answer, Daniel? Can you stop breathing into the mic so heavy?
All right. One more.
It was a good day.
Yeah.
Oh my God, there's more. It's still
I'm
alive.
gonna go with It's Still Alive.
Oh my God, you both got it right.
Are we gonna have another question?
No, that's
That's
it. That's
it.
the bonus question. I'm just going to say that you won so you can feel some sense of accomplishment.
I don't feel accomplished.
I know. You feel like it was a pity win, but a win nonetheless. You guys realize that this game doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
But
No, it's absolutely
I
not
still
that.
have to give him the beer from the last one.
No, you did.
No,
You said it
didn't.
with
What
the
are you
cup.
talking about?
I
Yeah.
did?
Yeah.
What the fuck is wrong? Jesus.
Oh boy.
Oh,
So
boy.
why is this
Okay.
called Cloverfield?
That's the name of the street that the production studio is on.
Oh, it's
So-
whatever.
Yeah.
That was cool.
Its code name was Slusho because that's like something J.J. Abrams really likes. And if you pay attention in like all of his stuff, someone's always wearing like a Slusho shirt.
Huh.
Yeah, I don't know what that means.
Strange.
Hey, do you guys remember a couple of years ago when that guy was lighting homeless people on fire in the subway?
Jesus, Todd.
What?
Maybe not the best topic for conversation down here.
Right. I just can't stop thinking how scary it would be if a flaming homeless guy came out of the dark right now. I'm just saying. Sorry.
What was that?
Let's just keep moving.
Okay, so Dan has his pity win for the season. Matt doesn't care about victories, even though was victorious. So now we go into if we like this movie? Do we recommend this movie? What are we happy that we even watched it? For me personally, I've watched this movie a billion times since 2008. I really enjoy it. The older I get, like my enjoyment is kind of running out, but I still really like it. I would not be mad if it was on my TV. I recommend people watch it all the time. I think it's a really good found footage alien-esque movie. It's unique in its own way. The sequels are a little bit weird, as we've discussed off and on throughout the whole thing. But I mean, as a whole, I dig it. Happy I watched it. Recommend that you watch it. What about you, Dan?
I did not like this movie.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I'm actually mad when it's on my TV. I'm always like, oh, you're watching this again? And, but I did watch it today, and I did appreciate some things, but not all of them. Not all of it. I don't really care.
Well, all right. Let me hear what I know Matt's going to say. Just say it.
I like this movie.
I fucking never know with you.
I don't hate this movie. I don't love this movie. I don't hate it. It's a fine movie. Every once in a while, I could see going back and watching it. Like we talked about earlier, I do prefer 10 Cloverfield Lane, but
yeah.
What I originally remembered of this movie was not actually seeing the monsters. Like I said, didn't apparently remember seeing the end of this movie when they're very clearly looking directly at them. And that was always a gripe I had. So when watching it today and seeing all that, I started to like it a little more.
All right. I'm, again, always shocked about what your response is. How did you feel about the love story thrown into it?
I mean, I could have done without that, but I understand that there'd be a reason for this guy to continually go after this girl and like for that to be there. Without that, if he wasn't attracted to her or clearly in love with her, then why would he wouldn't have done half the shit he did.
Could have been his sister.
Oh, that's true.
So we got 2 positives, 1 negative, as always. Before we end the show, what did you guys think as a whole, like creative wise, the giant monster, the Clover? Did you like the design of that? Did you think it was like too off the walls, or did you actually dig it?
Oh, for me, the parts I do like about this movie is after watching it and finding out more stuff about the movie from somebody that appreciates it, I do appreciate the monster.
All right.
But I just don't like the rest of the movie. So I like the part where I found out like where it came from.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's unique.
Yes.
I never saw really a monster like this before.
Truth.
But I'm still wondering where the little spider guys are coming from. Is he like pooping them out? Where are they coming from? They just coming out of them? He's sweating them out? What's going on? Are they eggs? Like
we all poop different things.
Who knows?
I like that it was something different.
My only thing is, like, I don't get why everything always has to happen in New York. Why can't Philly get some, like, crazy monster love? I guess that they consider that, like, the epicenter of society sometimes in America, but I don't know. I was like, oh, I like that it's in New York because, I frequent there because it's very close, but, But speaking of the monster, I actually really did enjoy the monster, though I'm quite confused about the tentacle that destroyed the Brooklyn Bridge.
That must be something different, right?
Yeah, what the hell is that? But when I was doing research on this, they said there is literally only one monster, so maybe that was like its tail? I guess. I don't know.
I don't know. I didn't think about that until now.
Oh my god.
Where did you come up with that?
My brain.
The fuck?
Well then, on that note, thank you so much for listening to this episode of Monster Madness.
Thank you so much.
Like I said earlier in the plugs, find us on all these social medias. Reviews are nice. Don't be a dick. Don't call us ravioli lovers, even though we do love a good ravioli.
We got stickers.
We do have stickers. I do have some holographic stickers left. We have some standard stickers. So if you actually do decide to leave the show a 5-star rating and review, screenshot it to us, send it to monstermadnesspod@gmail.com and a address that you would like that sticker at, and I will mail one to you with a little thank you card. Fun little sticker. And yeah, see you on the next one.